100% clean.
In an earlier video, I talked about how to filter your rainwater using emergency kits for survival. In this video, I'll explain how to filter and purify your rainwater and or tap water on a daily basis that's much more sterile and cheaper even than bottled water.
Okay, so this is our brand new water distiller. We have our old one that we still use, but we bought this one as more of a backup, plus it's a newer model, because sometimes the other ones are, from what we've noticed, we've gone through about one other one prior. If you don't maintain them in a specific way, they can essentially burn out. I figured it would be a good opportunity to do an unboxing of it too. So let's take a look.
So first of all, what's the point of distilling your water? Well, unfortunately, the water that you're drinking may be a lot worse off than you realize. So distilling your water is to filter out and purify your tap water or your bottled water from all the dangerous contaminants that they contain that you may not know about. So the main point of this channel is about being off-grid or even having to survive, but along with that is being off-grid is also to try to have the best lifestyle that you can have, the most healthiest. And so we focus on holistic, organic, and just anything that can keep ourselves in a more healthy state. So now I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of all the contaminants that are in average, from tap water to, more importantly, drinking water, which many people think is safe. So for reasons of trying to keep this video moving, I'm going to go through all the examples pretty quickly. If you want to read them more thoroughly, just pause the video. I will also leave links for every single thing that I'm discussing here in the description. So let's take a quick look. So this is from the CDC, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of this parasite, but it's fairly common in a lot of bottled water, and as we can see, it can cause severe illness or even life-threatening symptoms. And one of the treatments that they recommend for being able to alleviate this parasite is distillation. And once again, that's distilling your water, which is what we do. If you look down a little bit toward the bottom here, it talks about gastrointestinal illness, reproductive problems, and neurological disorders. This site lists a bunch of dangerous contaminants you need to be aware of, such as arsenic, plastic particles, E. coli, mold, and carcinogens. And then there's fluoride, which is practically in all our water and is very hard to find filters that can filter it out. The byproduct of that, it interrupts our sleep cycles, which we know sleeping could be a very big problem for people, which could lead to many other issues. It affects our development during early puberty, and we understand how much that can affect people as they get older. Heightened risk of breast cancer. Also, just generally increases stress, which we know how much stress in many cases is called the silent killer, including, and then also there's Alzheimer's and much more. And then also for those of us who have interest in the esoteric or metaphysical, it is known to decrease your connection to the universe, as well as your spiritual connection just in general, as well as it dulls your ability for critical thinking. But moving along, look at the amount of pollution according to this website, how much pollution it makes. And then, of course, there is costs, which is really important to all of us. Now, bottled water is about 3,000% more expensive per gallon than tap water. So simply by distilling your tap water, if we look at the numbers here, tap water is 0.02 per gallon. Bottled water is 0.64 per gallon. Now calculate that over a month, calculate that over a year or years. You are saving massive amounts of money by distilling your water. And then this part here where it talks about a myth, bottled water is purer than tap water, and as underlined here, it says bottled water generally is no cleaner or safer or healthier than tap water. So, something to keep in mind that comes from foodandwaterwatch.org. So, really it points out a lot of really interesting facts. So before we get into the demo and the unboxing portion, I just wanted to just take a quick look at these stats about bottled water and the benefits of it, and also the harm, and kind of getting an understanding of exactly how it works with the pH levels and things like that, which are, really are important, because once again, many people think that their bottled water is fine, but actually it's really not, depending on where they're getting it from. It also indicates some of the better companies that have better bottled water than others, so keep that in mind. And also, one of the main points of this video is to keep in mind that as far as goes trying to be off-grid or survival mode, if you have rainwater, now you're able to, on a daily basis, be able to filter it in a way where you can do it daily and just keep yourself going. Okay, so now we're going to get back to the unboxing and the demonstration on exactly how distilling your water works. By the way, distilling essentially means that it burns, it boils the water at such a high temperature that it basically kills off everything, and I mean everything that was mentioned. It's all eradicated. Now the thing is that it actually burns so hot that you need to replenish even some of the good minerals and things like that are in it. But we'll talk about that in the video as we go.
So we can see this, I guess, a little manual here, and the main one right here, nice and packed, and has this right here, which is an active charcoal filter. Alright, so I just put it up here on the counter, and so it comes with its standard plug, and this right here is something different too, that I was going to talk about earlier, which is about cleaning the unit. And this is pretty cool. This is seems like it's something actual, because when you're after you get done using it, sometimes you get some residual just, I don't know, grime or something at the bottom of the inside of the unit, because it's essentially burning the water, boiling at extremely high temperatures, so you have to clean it. We used white vinegar, but this is something new that they added to it, so I guess they give you a natural cleaner now that you can put in there, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to take off the top here and see what is inside. Okay. Okay, yeah, here's the to put your water in. You have to put your pitcher together. These are all the parts to it. I'm sure this is probably the handle right here. That's the handle, and of course, so you have to just put all this together. I'm not going to put this together right now. I'm going to use our old one just to kind of give you an idea of how this all works. Here's the active charcoal. Actually, this was in our older one too. So I already kind of took the pieces out. I'm going to do this with one hand. You basically just take this piece right here, and you slide it in here, or you fold it in half rather, put it in there. Okay, so this is the top part right here. You would just take this part and this will attach right into here. That's how that looks once it's attached. And then this would go right on top of here. And then once you have your pitcher ready, the pitcher would go right there. Okay, so I don't know if you can see right here, there is a full line right here. So that's how much water you're gonna pour in right up to the line. And so I'm gonna do that and I'll show you what happens next. All right, so it's almost filled to the top. Right there. Okay, another thing too is when I'm putting in the water, I turn the faucet all the way to hot. This makes it so when it starts processing, it can cook a little bit faster because you're already putting in hot water. So that's just a little side tip. All right, so once you do that, you take the top. You want to line it up. You want to line it up so that way the cords match. Here. Make sure you plug it in all the way, of course. That one's already plugged in over there. All right, so now it's set. Okay, so I already put our old pot for this. I didn't put together the other pitcher yet, so we're just for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna use this. So all you have to do is just place the pitcher right underneath the nozzle right there, and then you just plug it in. And voila, you're good to go. For this model here, the first time that you get it going, it automatically turns on the second that you plug it in. Afterwards, you'll have to use the reset button to turn it on and turn it off like that, like so. Some side notes is that after this is done processing, it often will have some, as was noted before, some residue at the bottom, so you're gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning. Also, for longevity, this automatically shuts off after it's totally processed the water automatically. Some type of sensor or something like that. However, over time, it actually will start to kill the lifespan of the unit, because it basically waits for a certain amount of heat or something like that it registers, and then it shuts it down. So what we bought instead was this right here. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, this right here. It's just a timer. So you plug this instead into the timer, set the timer. You kind of have to figure out exactly how long you need to set it for, because this it's a slow burn. For each one, it may be a little different. For this one here, I believe it takes about a little over about 5 hours for it to process it all. So you set this for just a little bit less than 5 hours, maybe like 5 hours or 4 hours and 50 minutes, something like that. So that way, it actually makes it so it doesn't burn out the motor as fast as it would if you didn't use a timer. So that's something to keep in mind. Alright, so this is just a little quick close-up. So what happens here is, over time, this right here just slowly drips into the pitcher, and eventually you've got yourself totally clean distilled water. This is also a close-up of the timer that we bought. Now, of course, right now it's not plugged in just because of the demo, but normally we would have this plugged in right here. We set the timer for about 4 hours, and what would I say, about 4 hours 50 minutes, something like that, and you're good to go. Okay, so I just turned off the distiller right now because it's a little bit loud when it comes to making the recording. So part of the problem is that you have to realize the distiller, it burns out everything. It burns out everything that's good and everything that's bad. So it's gonna take out all the parasites, everything that was indicated about all the contaminants that are in regular water. So after you process it all, it's totally distilled. It's totally sterile. So then what you have to do is you need to replenish some of the minerals that is actually lost when you distill water, which is this right here. So there's many different other brands. It'll tell you on the back about how much you're supposed to put in per gallon, it's not that much. But basically now you're able to replenish the amount of minerals that you want. When we first did it, I will say that it was a little bit too much. Kind of was like bad on our stomachs. So I think it even does indicate you may want to put in a little bit less when you're putting in minerals, because depending on how your body reacts to it. But that's all you really have to do. Now, along with that, we also have this little one right here, which it's a different type of mineral supplement. We also put that in there too. Just to kind of make sure everything's kind of well rounded. So that's another thing. And then lastly, hold on. All right, and this right here, it's just regular sea salt. We have that we just put a little pinch in there, of course, to add to the overall balance of the minerals. So that's pretty much it. All right, so once it's processed, just pour right out of the pitcher, and you are good to go. 100% clean.